All right, welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee Recap. And as promised, at the end of every game or the very next day, we're going to deliver some sort of synopsis of what happened. And simply put, for this one, they kicked our ass. It just ain't no way to really explain it. In the clutch moments, we just didn't deliver. Now, we've had a lot of bright spots in this game, but we knew going in that Cade Cunningham was going to be a problem, and then a problem he was. I mean, we had no answer for him. In the first game, we was able to meet him at the point of attack on the pick and roll and at least sustain him from getting that drive and then creating. Well, yesterday we couldn't do either. I don't blame the defense that we had on him individually. I believe that OG did a decent job for what he could do because, again, great defense is nice, but it'll never outsmart really good offense. So Cade Cunningham put up really good offense yesterday, and then he was able to get other guys going. I mean, Schroeder, he was the X factor for me on their team, and he did what I know he's capable of doing, and we also didn't have an answer for him either. Now, on the flip side, we still got to kind of commend Mikal Bridges. Now, at the end, he could have saved the day. He had two open looks. One could have gave us the lead, another one that could have tied the game, and then they both fell short. But I also think that through the course of that game, in that last 8 to 10 minutes, we could have used OG and Mikal a little bit more, being that they were hot a little bit this game. We could have rolled them. There were some scenarios where Mikal Bridges just seemed like he was going to be on fire, and then we just went away from that, and we had to capitalize on that. Because when they're capitalizing off of their pick and roll, that's a big chunk of their offense. So it opens up the spread. Knowing that we got 5 feet in the paint, it opens it up for their shooters. And they took advantage of that, knowing that we were going to bite every time. And we did. And I understand that part. Let the man go one-on-one. I mean, the refs are letting everybody play. So why get the foul from the off man, which was happening a lot too. And it just puzzles you that we wasn't meeting the challenge that was right there in front of us. And it was at home. And we can't say, well, welcome to the playoffs. Because we should went in there and definitely came out 2-0. And then maybe get the split in Detroit. So we put ourselves now in a hole because their confidence now going to be riding high going home. And we already saw it early in the season or before the series, where Detroit said they're not selling a whole lot of out-of-town tickets. So the Garden faithful that love to travel to every game may not have an opportunity to even be in the building. So it's going to be us against them. And now we have to figure out a way now to fight to get game 3. And game 4 would be a must. So we put ourselves in that hole. And to me, some of the blame, to me, has to also go on the coach, who I've been praising the whole year. But it was certain things that we didn't do to kind of combat some of the things they were going to do. Now, I had said the other day that when coach was talking about going to the big lineup, and he was going to go by adjusting to what they were doing. But sometimes we have to make them adjust to us. And if Cat wasn't able to get it going down low, for whatever the reasons, I don't think they should have been able to guard him without Isaiah Stewart, especially. Then we should have made him a shooter for some parts of the game and had Mitch or Precious down there still for, the offensive rebounds or, things like that. But we didn't do that. We just kept trying to force feed Cat to be down low, and then they built that wall where he could barely even touch the ball. So some of that was on us. Cat is an excellent three-point shooter, and last night we needed three-point shooting. Three-point shooting last night would have won us the game easy. And we wasn't doing that. We were pounding, trying to get to the hole, and then maybe try to find a kick out. Well, they was all on top of that, to their credit. And we didn't make the adjustment. And yeah, Brunson did some heroic things last night, but to me, some of it wasn't smart. And even if we would have won, I would still be saying the same thing. Sometimes you can't worry about trying to beat your man one-on-one. Yeah, you got Asir Thompson fouled out, which was nice. But we had other guys that had it going. OG had it going. Mikal Bridges had it going. And Deuce McBride seemed to have it going. Now, let alone Payne didn't play in the second half. And even Shamet didn't get any minutes, where outside shooting is what was missing, was a difference in the game for us. Now, the guys that you left in there, also to their credit, got us back in the game with their defense and their smothering deflections. But it just wasn't enough for us to get a stop and then go down and can't score. Now, some could say, well, we tied it up, so isn't that good enough? No, not when you're at home. not when you're at home and you're the favorite. In this case, it's not good enough. We needed that victory, and we really had to show Detroit that they in for a fight, and we had them rattled. we had them. We had them right where we wanted them. All we had to do was put the nail in the coffin, and we didn't do it. And I was shocked at the 2 jumpers that Bridges missed in the last 2 minutes, one in the last seconds. That would have been a huge service for us, and we wasn't able to get it done. But Tibbs, you have to be the one. If the guys on the floor aren't doing it, you got to call that number to get the shot you know you need in the position that you need. And I looked at it, had that been DiVincenzo, we would have made sure he came off of a staggered screen, and that ball would have been right in the pocket where he needed to get the shot off. So we got to use that same effort for the other guys also. We have to. And Brunson, everything you did last night was needed. But you still got to keep including them other guys. You got to. And we have to be the ones, when they say Cat disappears in the playoffs, we have to be the one to make sure that he doesn't. Right? We could have utilized his outside shooting, but we should have also demanded that he get that ball positioned and get that ball in the paint. And he just faded away with the defense. And we can't allow that. You know, we just can't. And to me, we didn't even utilize Mitch more. He should have also been used in the pick and roll. But if we would have pulled the big man out when we just had Cat in the game, that would have brought Duran away from the rim, so that we would have had easy drives getting to the basket. So now we got to go into game 3. We have to look at the tape from both our games, our win and our loss, to try to figure out how can we step on their neck, because they're not going to give it to us. They have nothing to lose. So, okay, it's not the end of the world. We can bounce back, and I'm sure we will bounce back. But, you know, it's heartbreaking that we got to go through this when we really didn't have to. We didn't have to. This is I want to say a self-inflicted loss, because we gave them life. We gave them room to breathe. Not getting out to their shooters, that's been a problem all year. So ain't no sense thinking we're going to correct that now. But we got to do a better job of commanding what we want to do on the offense. That's what we have to do. We drove right into the heart of their defense and made it easy for them to get stops, you know, and blocks. So we have a lot to correct. But all is not lost. You know, Thursday night we have another one, and then we got another quick turnaround on Saturday for the next one. So, you know, all's well can be looking pretty in a couple of days, but right now it's a little bit doom and gloom because we know we're the better team, and then we just have to go out and perform it. All right, so, you know, until next time, we're going to hang in there, stick with our team. Do me a favor if you can, just hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Peace.